Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie. I just got done working out, just got done reading. Good morning. And how are you? Did you wake up in a frenzy? Did you wake up and just kind of have to hit your feet and run, hit the ground running? Or did you wake up and own your morning? And either way, it's great. Usually I get up. Well, I always get up. I get up and I go work out and I read and I get ready to talk to you. Today, I added in a little bit of cardio. If you know me or if you've been listening to me at all, I love to lift weights. I don't love cardio, so I'm working on it. Did anybody work out this morning? I did. And so we are diving in this book. We've only talked, I think, twice on it so far. Usually I don't come on and talk on Sundays. Our Sundays are, we go to church and we usually have friends or family over and we just relax. So I will not be doing lives on Sunday. Saturday this weekend, for Friday and Saturday, I went to a women's conference with my mom. So we've only gotten through a couple pages. And so if you haven't started, it's okay. If you're just tuning in here, I'm just going to give you the basic overview. My hope is every morning is just to make you think, to help you with your mindset, to help you on your journey, because if you can get this right, then hopefully you can get this right, meaning the food that goes in your mouth and helping you on your fat loss journey and just your overall health. Why do we read? Because I think it's powerful. Why do we read? Because it truly helps your mindset and set you on a forward motion towards your goals. Make sense? Whether you agree or not, I just truly believe it's important. So I feel like you can't see my face. It's so dark out today. There's no sun. I'm tuning in from Minnesota. It's super foggy. There's like a pretty good fog over our lake. So where are you tuning in from? How is your morning? And we're diving through Think and Grow Rich. I'm actually going to start. So we're going to go through this book not fast because honestly, it's not a quick, easy read like some of the books that we've been going through. So I'm going to start on page 24. I think it's on the 5th page in from chapter 1. It's labeled the 50-cent lesson in persistence. And he tells a lot of stories in here. And basically the overview of this book is Napoleon Hill goes through and he talks about it. He says he interviews for 25 years. He did research and analyzed I think so, for lots and lots of years. That seems long. He analyzed more than 25,000 people, and he wanted to know, how did the wealthiest men in the world become that way? Like, what were their principles? What was their character? What did they do? And you might be going, why are we talking about wealth and riches? Because he'll talk about this later in the book. There's 13 principles that he learned he spent 25 years of research. In the 25 years of research, in studying super successful men, he says men, there's probably a woman in there. If there wasn't, it's okay. But in studying 25,000 successful people, and later on he says at least 500 of the most successful people in the world, what were the principles in life they followed? And you might be going, what does this have to do with our health? Everything. Because when you look at somebody's success in life, when you look at, like, let's say you follow, for just say Instagram or social media or Facebook. When you follow people on social media, you usually follow people that have a lot of followers, right? You usually follow people with a blue check. You're usually going, what did they do to get that success? Whether it's real or not. Right now, I'm just talking about, like, you're following the successful people as far as you know, right? And if you look at somebody that has success in their life, maybe you go, oh my goodness, they are an incredible speaker, or wow, they're very wealthy. What did they do to obtain it? Wow, they're super, super healthy. What did they do to obtain it? And you have to go, all of these people, whatever success they have in their life, they've got to have some pretty basic, not basic, but they've all got to have a pretty basic understanding or line of principles that I bet you they all follow, right? So what he did is he put together the book after 25 years of research to go, here's the 13 principles that I found across the board. Whatever success these people were having, I want to share with you. And so I want you to tune in, because you might hear riches a lot in this, but later on, as he keeps going, he's going to give you these principles that you can apply anywhere in your life, anywhere. So he tells a story, a simple story of 50 cents. And we're going to start there. It would have been back during the Civil War, even before the Civil War. It would have been back when there were slaves, right? And so he talks about a man. I'll tell you, listen, you're interrupting my life. So he basically had a little girl. It doesn't say how old she was. It says she was the child of a tenant. She walks in and I think she might have said, Master, and she asked for the 50 cents that he owed, that the man owed her mother. And he kind of yells at the kid and tells her to get out. And the little girl didn't move. And he went to go at her, and he's just telling this story. And the little girl didn't move. And it says she screamed at the top of her lungs in a shrilled voice, my mama gotta have that 50 cent. She wasn't afraid. She stood there in determination to get the 50 cents that the man owed her mom. And he tells the story because he says, he goes, back in those days that would never happen. It should never happen. She should have been punished for it. And he said, I learned a lesson in that day. What made that man stop and give that little girl her 50 cents? And so he talks about this understanding of determination. He talks about when you have the desire to get something, and if you stand your ground, you're going to get it. So there's so many stories. That's why it's powerful to have the book. I can't tell you all of it, but he takes little stories, and then he talks about, here's the deal. We're going to go over 13 principles, but remember as you read, the answer that you may be seeking to the questions which have caused you to ponder over the strangeness of life may be found in your own mind through some idea, plan, purpose, which may spring into your mind as you read this book. He says, when you begin to think and grow rich, I'm going to tell you something. One of the key words in all of the books that we're reading and the things that I'm sharing with you is to think. It's about mindset. You're not going to get away from it. If your goal is to get healthy, we're going to work on your mindset. If your goal is to run a marathon, you're going to have to work on your mindset. To get stronger, mindset. To be a better mom, mindset. To be a better husband or wife, mindset. A better boss or an employee, mindset. It all comes down to what you're thinking. And you might be going, more mindset. Yes. All right. He says, begin with a state of mind. Beginning with a state of mind, with a definition of purpose, with little or no hard work, you will, and every other person ought to be interested in knowing how to acquire that state of mind, which attracts riches. And a riches can be a richness in your relationships, in your finances, in your life, in your parenting. Doesn't mean money. Some of it can be. He says, I spent the 25 years in research analyzing more than 25,000 people. I am going to tell you how the wealthiest men became that way. And a lot of it starts in their mind. So he begins to tell you more stories. He says, one of the main weaknesses of mankind is the average man's familiarity with the word impossible. He knows all of the rules which will not work. People know all of the rules which will not work. He knows all the things that cannot be done. This book is written for those who seek the rules which have made others successful and are willing to stake everything on those rules. We know it's easy to go, that's impossible. I'll never lose the 100 pounds, or I'll never run that marathon, or I'll never be strong. I'll never be the way I was when I was younger. He got a dictionary, he said, when he started out his 25 years of research, and he ripped out the word impossible. It's like, I don't believe that. I believe we can do what we want to achieve with these 13 principles. He says, success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. If you want success, it's kind of like this. You're going to get what you see. You're going to get what you believe, right? Positive or negative, success or failures. If you believe that you can't do it, then you can't. If you believe that you can do it, and with the determination and with consistency and with these actions, eventually you'll get to where you want to go. But you can't give up. It could take you 25 years. 25 years. Are you willing to put in 1 year of work to get the health that you want? 1 year. Some of you are like, no, I won't. This is my 4th diet. It's not working. It's impossible. Well, you're right. You're right. Because that's what you believe. Oh, sometimes the truth hurts, right? Okay, he tells a great story of Henry Ford. He talks about how the V8 motor was created, and it took him years to create something, and all of the, I don't even know what you call them, the people that work, that create things, the inventors, the people that worked for him in his factory, the people that created the V8 motor, they kept saying it's not possible. Henry Ford goes, yes, it is. Keep going. I don't care how much money it costs you. I don't care how long you work on this. You will create it. He goes, I see it. I believe it. It can be done. Henry Ford said, and stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time it requires. And eventually, as you know today, we have a V8 motor. He says, what caused Henry Ford to keep on something no matter the cost, no matter the time? He says, the Ford determination had won once more. Henry Ford is a success because he understood and applied the principles. Of these is desire, knowing what you want. And so here's a key for the entire day. If you do not have the desire, if you do not know what you want, how in the world can you go after it? Like what are you going after? If you're like, I just want to get healthy, what does that mean? Do you have the desire to put it in? Do you have the desire to get healthy no matter what? It's a no matter what. Remember, this Ford story, as you read and pick out the lines in each, which is the secret of his stupendous achievements, have been described, and all he did was he had a determination, a no matter what, and a desire. I'm going to make a V8 motor. It can't be done. Yes, it can. No, it can't. A year later, we can't do it. Yes, you can. Keep going. Keep going. It was a sheer determination and desire that it will be done, without an expectation of years of time and money. All right, I'm going to wrap up I wanted to get you to chapter 2. So there's more stories. He tells another story of a poet. He talks about desire, more desire. He talks about the brain. He says the poet should have talked about that our brains are becoming let me back up. Our brains are like magnets, with the dominating thoughts which we hold in our minds, and by means with which no man is familiar. These magnets attract to us the forces that people and circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. In other words, and I'm going to tell you, this is written a little bit old-fashioned. It's kind of like, it's just reading an older book. That's why we can't rush through it, because I'm like, that's not how I would say something. Your mind is a magnet. Are you thinking negative thoughts, positive thoughts, belief or disbelief? You're going to attract what you're thinking about. I've talked about this in a last video. It's like your R.A.S, your reticular activating system, right? When you buy something that you thought nobody had, like a car, right? When you buy, you're like, oh my goodness, nobody has this SUV. I'm the only one in my town. And as soon as you drive off the lot, you see them all over the place, because your R.A.S, your reticular activating system, was set up. It's with anything. I have this outfit, I have these pair of jeans, I have these shoes, and now everybody has them, right? You're going to attract things with your mindset, what you're looking for, negative or positive. Your mindset is a magnet. And so if you're constantly griping and complaining, and I never will, and I wish I would have, and never me, it's impossible, then guess what? That's what you're going to get. So, stop it. Stop it. All right. He talks about studying more people, and basically he just simply says this. We are going to dive into the principles, the 13 principles of what it takes to be successful in any area of your life. Again, it's an older read, but a really great read. So if you want to listen to it and just tune in here, it's a really great audible because his voice is funny. It's an older sounding voice, but I actually feel like with this book, I have to listen to it and read it. It just hits my brain differently. But we're going to start chapter 2 tomorrow. So go through, read the stories. Chapter 2 is about desire. The starting point of all achievement, the first step towards riches in any area of your life is desire. Do you really desire to be healthy? Do you really desire to have a certain look or weight or strength gain or achievement in a certain area of your health and fitness? Do you desire it? Because if you don't, why are you here? So we're going to start on that tomorrow, and we're just going to work through, we went through a little bit more than 5 pages. I'm not going to lie. I do get a little overwhelmed with this book, just because of the way it's written, and even the way that they have the words all scrunched together. It's easy to go through some books and browse through them and take away a really quick nugget and then keep going. But I feel like this book is great. I've read it before. I remember loving it. I wanted to go back through it, so I'm going to stick with it. Not because it's easy, because I know it's a really good book. So continue to tune in. We're going to talk about desire tomorrow. I hope I said something just to make you spur on one thought to give you a positive mindset today. And if all it is you better watch your words and not say that's impossible, that's not me, I'm too fat, I'm ugly, I'm never going to. If all you do is go, if all you do is this, right? If all you do is shut your mouth and be very aware of what you're speaking over yourself, because what here comes out here, right? Stop. You are worthy. You can do this. We're going to help shift your mindset. You're going to have to tune in. You're going to have to learn from others. You're going to have to work on it. Nothing just comes. You have to put in the work, right? So I hope you have an incredible Monday. Continue to tune in for all of the keto things on the page. Reach out with any questions you have, and I'm always here to help. So I hope you have an incredible morning, and we'll talk to you soon.